Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to finish off our project where we brought our chair in from Fusion, had a go at applying materials, unwrapping everything. We've run a couple of simulations to make our pillow and our cloth. We then brought in a stock model for a bit of scenery and built a backdrop. The last thing we're going to do is just apply some lights. We're going to use something called gobos, so I'll show you how to set those up, then how to render a high quality final image.
Okay, so last thing we're going to do is start to set up our lighting before we start rendering everything. Now, there's two ways of doing it because we've got two different render engines inside of Blender. So if I come over to the right-hand side, go into render, we've got Eevee and we've got Cycles. Cycles is the more realistic one, so we want to do like a really nice image. But if you can do like any animations, or if you've got quite a not so powerful PC, Eevee is not quite as good, but we'll still do it a decent job. So we'll do it with Cycles first. So you want to add in a light. So what I'm going to do is go to Shift and A and go to Light and add in an area light. Excuse me. Now, at the minute, we've got the scene lighting on, so I'm going to turn to render mode so we can see what's going on. And then I'm going to come to World and turn that stroke off as well. So we've got this light here. And under properties, we can change this. So we can change the size of it. What we're going to do is let's switch to Cycles first. And then I'm going to turn on GPU and denoise. So this is the one that's going to get the higher quality render to it. So we're going to grab our light. We're going to play around with the spread and we're going to go to use node first of all. Go to shading. I'm going to type in a image texture. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. What we're doing, Shift A, type in wave texture and put that into our color. Go to layout. Play with the spread. Let's go down to 1 to begin with. Oh, I've got the wrong waves. I just realised. Shift A, wave texture. That's what I wanted. That's why it's looking weird. Okay, there we go. Go to the layout. Now, with this, what we want to do is let's make this split about 0 to begin with. Make it as a disk. G, Z to bring it up. G just to bring it over, R to rotate it, X and just start to move it. So we get the idea that it's sort of like light shining through a window. I'll move that back a little bit. So what I'm in my head at the minute, I'm thinking my render probably going to come off about that angle, like that. You can play around with the power a bit, so we can see a bit more. So you can go like super bright, depending on what you're after. I'm also going to change the light slightly to make it a little bit yellow, so we've got like sunlight coming through. Let's see. No, I don't want to go quite that high. Maybe 10 was about right. Something like that. So I'm then going to go back over to shading. Let's see. If we can rotate these around, see what happens. There we go. So what I did then was I had edit preferences and I had what's called node wrangler enable, which is built into Blender, but you need to enable it. And then I clicked on this one and went on Control T to bring up mapping. Just because I imagine the blinds are probably going to be that way around, although I suppose they could actually be. It kind of depends on what we've got going on. So let's do it like that. I'm then going to play around with the settings a little bit, so you can play around with like shadows a little bit. I can also make that a little bit blurrier if you wanted to. So the bigger the spread, the less detail you're going to see. So you've got 0, it's really clear. So just bring that just a little bit, so it's a little bit blurry, something like that. And then what else could we do? So what we may do is, we'll get this a quick save so nothing gets lost first of all, is add some like fog. So it's like the idea that you got like, well, sunlight hitting like other fog inside, like dust and things like that. So I'm going to Shift A, go to Mesh and Cube. I'm going to come to Materials, click on New. Under Surface, I'm going to change that to Principal Volume and go to Shading. I'm just going to take this volume and put it into volume there. Then we can turn that down to like 0.3. So you see, we kind of like, it's almost got that, like, it's hard to explain, like the sun shining through the window and you can see like dust are sort of in the air. The more kind of things that you're adding here, by the way, the longer render will take. So just be conscious if you've not got a super powerful setup. Then let's add one more thing. We can go Shift A and Radiance Volume. I'll scale this down a little bit and just interact with the light a little bit. And then let's go to properties here and we'll do something like 10. That, and then let's come under as our render thing and go to lights. Area lights. And bake. Oh, we don't need to do it so because we are in cycles rather than Eevee. So what I'm going to do is add in a camera. I don't think I've got one yet. So I'm going to go to Shift A. Let's add in a camera. And then what I can do is you can go to View, Align Camera to Active View. Or again, what I've done is right click and put it as my quick favorites. So if I go to Q and align my camera to view like that, zoom out a little bit more. And then under, where's my camera? The camera settings, change focus, focal length rather. You've got another camera somewhere without me realizing. Yeah, it's over here. Let's just get rid of that. There we go. So let's turn this down to 0. And now we've got another camera that we wanted. So something like that. So if I were to then go to render and render image. So this can take a little bit of time because it's in cycles. So this is where you're going to get a higher quality render. So what we'll do is I'll speed this up for the recording, but then what I'll do is I'll show you how to do it in Eevee, where it won't have quite the same effect, but it'll be a faster one if you've got on it, so it'll work if you've got a little bit less powerful PC. So let's come out of here. Let's turn off area light. Well, no, leave area light on. Let's go to Eevee. So what we want to do, so we are going to still use our fog, but I'm going to hide it now. Grab it in H. We've got our area light there. What we can't add in like our gobo effect like we did before, but we can add in a different one. So we go to Shift A, go to Image, Images Plane. Then we go to my desktop where I've got loads of different examples of gobos that I may use. So I'm going to grab like this one. We'll grab it, rotate, and what we can do is essentially put that in front of the light shine through. But I'm going to change the kind of light that we've got there. So let's change this light to spotlight. Bring it back a bit more. So what's going to happen is it's going to shine through that and leave those shadows. So I'll get the same sort of effect. The cycles were not quite as good. So I'm going to grab that and go to shading. And all we want to do is get rid of the colour. Let's put the colour to the alpha. So you can see that those shadows are shining through. Let's grab that and turn the power up. Like that. See how it's looking. Let's bring back that fog. Okay, and because we added the, where was it? The irradiance volume, what we can now do is bake our indirect lighting. Show how long it's going to take there. Okay. So we've now got a load of this atmosphere going on. I might need to add another little light in. But the idea being that this is going to be a lot faster. So we just, for example, go to render. And that's done. So bearing in mind how slow Cycles was going to be, you can see the quality difference. So Cycles is definitely better if you do like a single frame render. But say if you didn't have a more powerful PC or you want to do like animation, this would certainly be a better way to go about it. So that's pretty much everything I want to go for in terms of the basics of taking your Fusion model and doing that. I'm just going to sort of play around for a little bit. It's quite fun to just play around and add more. You could, for example, Shift A. Let's see, light, an area light. Geez, bring that up and scale it up so it's really not, it's quite soft. Something like that. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, so I think we'll probably stop there. But the whole point of this little mini series was just to show you, take your Fusion model, put it into Blender, and start adding in some more things. I just really noticed I haven't really got, well, not because the shadows are there, aren't they? So they're not shadows to show it's on the actual surface, but it's because the Gobo is shining in on it. Hopefully you found that interesting, you've learned some things. If you've got any questions, leave a comment down below or email me at design with Simon@outlook.com.